Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Elisabetta, an Italian watercolor artist. Today we are reviewing this Supervision watercolor, the Hokusai collection. Let's see what there is in this paint. First of all, I would like to unbox this small box that I bought on AliExpress. Before buying the whole set that comes in tube and is quite expensive, I thought I could buy this sample. On AliExpress, you often find samples of paints in tube. They squeeze it in this small plastic box and they send it at a smaller price, so you can test it before you buy the whole collection of tubes. It's 10 pans and it says 1 milliliter each, so they're quite small, but it's enough to test them, paint with them, and decide if you want to use them or not again. So you see there are 10 boxes. Most of them are pastel tones, and they are this Hokusai collection because they say that you can paint and replicate some Hokusai masterpieces with this collection. Hokusai, of course, is a Japanese master. You surely know the famous big wave, the tsunami on the cover. So let's start by swatching them. There is absolutely no information about the pigments or the color codes if you want to buy them open stock, but the only thing that we can do is swatching them and see if we like them. This set looks so lovely, and the pans are perfectly filled, they are full, there is no retraction, there are no cracks. It's really an attractive small set. I can't wait to try it with you. So before we swatch it, I will add a drop of clean water to each of these pans to reactivate them. I just remind you that this set comes in tubes, and I have bought a sample set that a third party has squeezed in a small set, something that you usually find on AliExpress. So I bought this on AliExpress. I have also added a black line so that we can test how opaque these colors are. As you see, they are really pastel tones. There is for sure some white in most of them, maybe with the exception of the blue and the green. So I'm sure that they will be somehow opaque. But let's start with this lovely beige. Yes, it is very opaque, but it's almost a gouache, but it's a lovely color. And it has a nice flow on paper once diluted, which really impresses me. I didn't expect it. This is a cellulose paper, so it's not an easy paper, but all my swatches, I do them on the same paper, so they have equal condition. Now the delicate olive green. It's also quite opaque, but it has a nice flow on paper as well. Really, really nice. Now this pale, very pale blue. They are much more opaque than Kuretake Gansai Tambi, that have a reputation for being opaque. These are really opaque. You can check out my review of Kuretake Gansai Tambi to compare the opacity of these two paints. In Asian watercolor, you often find opacity because they used to mix white a lot. Let's go to a darker blue, slightly darker. These shades of blue are adorable. I'm not sure how to use it. Now dark blue. This is almost an ultramarine, but it's not a pure ultramarine. There is a violet tone. So it's not a pure ultramarine, but it has a granulation. So there is for sure some ultramarine inside. I would be curious to see the composition, but I have searched the internet and there is absolutely no information about pigments and composition of these paints, but they are lovely if it is a curiosity. Now a skin tone. It's a porcelain skin tone, also very opaque. Only the blue ultramarine was transparent so far. The other ones are all very opaque, but they tend to be less opaque once they're dry. We'll judge that later. Now a very interesting color, a brick color. Seems to be an Indian red or an English red, which is always a very opaque color. So this is maybe not mixed with white, it's just opaque because the pigment used, if it is PR 101, it's an opaque pigment. And nice flow on paper, gray. I'm not a fan of ready-made grays except maybe for Payne's gray or Davis gray, because gray is so easy to mix and you can really reach much higher color variety if you mix it by yourself. But this is an interesting gray, maybe for faraway landscapes, faraway mountains or cloudy sky. Now we have an emerald green that should be transparent as well. It's more a forest green maybe. There shouldn't be white in this, so maybe once dry it's going to be transparent. The last one is another pastel color, is a light gray, opaque. This one, there is white. It's more like a wash. A very nice, they all have a very nice flow on paper. Nice color. While they dry, we are trying some mixing exercise on paper. And I will try and mix this light green, for instance, with this brick red. The result is a bit dull maybe, and I'm not sure that we can easily mix these colors. Let's try some forest green on paper directly with the green. And now I'm mixing the blue with the light olive green, which is the most yellowish tone. We don't have a yellow. I don't really see a green coming out, but let's wait until it dries. I'm trying also this brick red, this Indian red. With some blue on the opposite side. What an interesting combination. It gives a granulating purple, grayish purple. Let's wait until it dries. Now that it's dry, we can wrap up our thoughts. First of all, colors are less opaque than they seem to be when they're wet, but you can still see some opacity here and there. But overall, here and here you see some opacity. And I'm surprised to see that they're not as opaque as I thought they were. Some are completely transparent, like the blue and the green. The blue is also slightly granulating. I find this mix very interesting. It was the brick red with this pale green. It's very interesting. It gives almost a slight peach in the middle. The gray and the green is also interesting because the gray tones down the green and it's not muddy, but it's muted. This mix that was the blue and this pastel tone is also quite interesting. It gives an added light. It lightens it up. But the most interesting of all is the brick red and the blue, because in the middle it gives a muted purple, also very luminous, and I don't mind it at all. I find it very nice. So with care, but you can mix them. I think I need to play a little with this small set. And now a little demonstration sketch. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye!